Hello YouTube, it's Accurate again. Now I've decided to make a real beat making video, and I'm gonna sample a piece of vinyl into the OP-1 and see if I can make a beat out of it. And I'm gonna go to this section of records, and these are records that I've actually listened to before, and I think I can find something on them, but I'm not sure what, so let's just pick a record in here. There's a bunch of soul, a bunch of jazz, some random Swedish records, and yeah, let's take this one. Linda Hutchins. Föd mina lamm, that's a Swedish thing, from a religious and Christian record store here in my hometown. I really don't know why this record was put here, but I guess I have heard something on it that I think I can use, so let's revisit this one and see if anything can be done. So that might actually be the sample I thought about, but let's go ahead and see if it was something else.
Smile on my face, where are you? I'm not the one that I used to.
It could also be this one. So let's go back to track 4 on this side. I don't know how great that is, but let's try to sample it into the OP-1 and see if I can chop it up. So let's go to the sampler and track 3. That's just drums. Now that it's inside the OP-1, let's see what we can do with it. So the sample sounds like this. So the OP-1 is limited to 12 seconds of sampling time, and it actually cuts up the sample on all of these steps automatically. But of course I want to edit all of the chops so I can control it a bit more and find whatever I like in the sample. I'm not sure what it was I liked about it, but I guess it was something, and it sounds pretty cool, so let's just edit some start and end points here. I don't want that kick drum. So now I'm gonna lift this slice and place it down there as well, so I can just continue from where I left off. So the red arrow up here says that it's going to play as long as I hold the key. I can also take it into one-shot mode or loop mode. That's actually quite helpful sometimes. Let's go on to the next one after that. So what I do when I cut samples up is that I don't really care about the tempo of the song originally, and I don't want to keep any of the drums if I can avoid it. And I always copy the first slice into the next one and edit from there, so I don't miss anything. So I guess a part of my sound when I make beats is that I tend to pitch my samples up a couple of semitones. So let's try that with all the slices individually. So it's been a while and I've just been working on the chops, and I've actually replaced some of them, and the pitch is now at +5 semitones on all of them. And I think it sounds pretty dope right now. But I feel like I need some kind of effect on here, so let's put a delay on, or maybe like, yeah, let's put a reverb on it. I actually like that quite a lot. So let's see how this goes together with a metronome. Tempo is 78 right now. So now let's just crank it up to somewhere where I feel a little bit more comfortable. Let's record something just to have something on the tape. 1, 2, 3, 4 bars out. Track 1. I like my volumes to be set at like 80 to start with, and so I have some room to go up and some room to go down. I don't know how happy I am with that, but let's just keep it right now to have something on the tape. So my next step from here is to start thinking about the drums. So I have occupied my first track with a sample and nothing else is recorded. So let's just sample a kick drum from the DrumBrute to start with. So before anyone asks in the comment section, yes, I know I'm making this way more complicated than it needs to be. I don't need to sample drums off the DrumBrute. I can sample something off a piece of vinyl or use the pre-made drums inside the OP-1. But I think this is a fun way to work, and I'm just gonna sample a couple of kicks, a snare, a clap sound, something like that, and chop it up and try to sequence it inside the OP-1. So I'm gonna put this one ready to record and start playing some drum sounds. So now let's take a look at it, and the volume is kind of low, but I can just increase that like this. So now I'm going to treat this like any other sample. I'm just going to chop it up best as I can and isolate this kick drum. Put that in one shot. Let's go to the snares. Make that even louder. What's cool here is that I can just pitch stuff down. And it won't sound the same as if I pitched them inside the DrumBrute, because that's analog and that's synthesis. This is pitching the sample afterwards, and that gives it a whole another tonality. So this is what I got. So I bet I can take this little snare, copy it over here, and just keep the tail. Pitch it up a bit. And now that sounds pretty much like a hi-hat. And let's try it together with the sample. So I'm gonna give these drums a try and record them manually onto track 2 of the tape. That's the kick, the hi-hats and the snares. Well, that's not bad, but I think I really need to redo the loop of the chops. So let's go back to track 1, delete that, go to sampler number 3. So let's try something new. It's going to be really similar, but I guess it's going to fit to the drums better. So it's all a matter of opinions, but I actually think this is a lot better. So let's keep that for now. I'm done with track 1 and track 2, samples and drums. So let's go on to track 3 and see whatever I can come up with here. So I'm not sure where to take this right now, but I guess I'm gonna try to look for the root note using some kind of synth sound. So that wasn't too hard. When I start on A, so I'd say that's a bunch of notes that actually works pretty well with the sample. So I'm gonna take that information and create some kind of bass line instead. So I started with a preset in the FM engine in here, and I tweaked it a bit and ended up with a really subby bass sound. So if you don't hear this sound on your laptop speakers or on your phone, it's just because the frequencies are that bassy and that low that they won't translate to small speakers like that. But I'm gonna try to record something on track 3 and put the bass line in there. Maybe I could add like this small synthesizer. But that feels like it doesn't really belong in there. So I'm just gonna utilize the microphone of the OP-1 and see if I can record some more interesting percussive things on top of this. So let's try to record this over there. And I also feel like I need to say that I do this pretty sloppy, and I do that intentionally because everything is just digital, even though I play it in like manually on the keys and stuff. Adding stuff like this brings more of a human feel to things, in my opinion, and I'm not sure about how much it actually brings to the track, but it feels good to play something and have it in here. So right now I'm kind of done with these 4 bars. If I want to record anything else, I have to record it on top of something else and like lock them together, and I really don't want to do that yet. So I'm gonna create another 4 bars. So I'm gonna go into my drum track, lift it up, paste it down, and paste it down again, and set a new endpoint. 1, 2, 3, 4 back and in point. The same thing with the... I'm actually gonna redo the samples for this little pattern. So let's go into number 3, that should be the bass. Lift it up, paste it down again. So now I have my 4 new bars to work with the same percussion track, the same bass line, and the same drums. But listen to this. The loop of the sample has actually leaked into track 2 with the drums, so I'm gonna have to redo the drums as well to make this little variation pattern, just to make the beat a little less repetitive. I need to turn the metronome back on. So that's that, and let's go back to track 1, go back to the sample and create something different. Maybe I could change out this little reverb to a delay. So I'm pretty much happy with that loop as a variation of the pattern, but I accidentally deleted my first loop as well, so I have to redo that. So let's go back 1, 2, 3, 4, set the start, 1, 2, 3, 4, set the end, and let's try to remember how it went down. So it actually ended up a little bit different anyway, but I don't care about that because I still like how it sounds. Normally I don't pay attention to the details in these videos, but I really don't like this little miss sound here. So I'm gonna try to cut it out. Right on the snare, I'm just gonna cut it and lift that up. Yeah, that's pretty much exactly what I wanted. So So now we're up to 8 bars instead of just 4. But I still feel like I want to add something in at least a part of the track. Copy the sample, lift it up, place it down, and paste it again. The same thing with the drums. So again, a new 4-bar loop with the sample, the drums, the bass, and nothing. And here I think I want to record a synth sound. So I'm not going to record a melody or something like that, I'm just going to create one little thing at the end of the loop. I'm going to enter one of the sequencers, endless, and enter. So it's easily synced up with. So let's record.
Who are you and where are you from? Who are you?
Accurate.
Okay, man.